This is the third video focusing on a business management IA, which will focus on thinking about how to select your tools, theory, techniques, or TTTs in the context of your business management IA. For one-to-one support on any part of the IA, feel free to get in touch with us via our email or WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box below. You are also welcome to submit your IA for examiner feedback at any point, which you can do so through our website, Diplomaly.org. Before we go into details, let's first recap on what these TTTs are. Tools are defined as BMTs and other strategic, quantitative, and qualitative techniques you have learned in the course. This includes any of the 15 BMTs for the higher level students and any of the 8 BMTs for the standard level students. But one thing to note is that it might include other tools and theories that you have learned from units 1 to 5, such as the product lifecycle. Theory is BM content that can be used as frameworks as part of your analysis. This can include things such as the 7 Ps or motivation theories. Techniques are calculations you can perform to provide further insights into your analysis, and this can include things such as the financial ratios or investment appraisal. In other words, anything from the business management syllabus can be helpful in answering your research question and helping you score marks on criterion B. A very common question we get is, how many TTTs should I be using in my IA? Now, there's no such thing as the right number of tools in theory. Our recommendation is to choose at least 3 TTTs in your IA, but this is merely a recommendation. You are actually assessed on the appropriateness, relevance, and the depth of your chosen TTTs, not by the quantity or how many TTTs you use. That said, we believe that anything more than 5 TTTs might lead to an IA that doesn't go well enough into the depth of each of these TTTs. Once you choose your research question, you will want to do some research to determine what TTTs you can use. Keep in mind that your research will influence your TTTs. Based on your background research, you will already have some TTTs in mind, which is great. However, don't assume the initial TTTs you choose are the ones that are most appropriate to your IA. You may change them as you go, and that is also completely fine. When you're trying to figure out whether you have picked the right TTT for your IA, you should ask yourself how and where this tool or theory can answer your research question. If you can come up with a good answer, then this is likely an appropriate TTT. If not, it is worth thinking of other TTTs that might be more appropriate. Let's use the examples in our previous video to demonstrate how this might be done. The first research question we saw: to what extent has Tesla's decision impacted its market share and profitability in the US market? In this type of question, we have a few angles of analysis. The first is the business event itself, which is Tesla's decision to cut prices. This relates directly to the 7 Ps, so we could conduct a partial 7 Ps analysis to understand the advantages and disadvantages of Tesla cutting its pricing strategy. We could also directly measure profitability using profitability ratio and market share through the use of market share analysis. This combined approach allows us to look at both qualitative and quantitative factors in answering your research question. This is merely one approach to answer the research question, and there are many other approaches you might come up with that could also work well. The second research question we saw was, how effective has Nike's 2030 sustainability strategy been in improving the firm's brand reputation and profitability? In this type of question, we might first look at sustainability under different lenses using the triple bottom line model. Since this is a question related to sustainability, we might look at corporate social responsibility and circular business models to understand environmental sustainability. Stakeholder analysis can be used for social sustainability and brand reputation, and some sort of financial tool for profitability. This gives us a balance between qualitative and quantitative tools to help us address the various aspects of sustainability. As you go about with your research, you'll find that some TTTs work and some don't, typically because there is not enough information available. It is important to be flexible in your approach. Be willing to change your intended tools and theories if there is not enough information or you find information from your research which suggests other tools or theories that might be better. A few other important notes on choosing tools and theories before we conclude. SWOT and STEEPLE are very commonly used by students. However, the IB examiner report notes that many students use these tools inappropriately. If you choose SWOT or STEEPLE, ensure that you highlight the relevant part of these tools in your IA. Also, be very careful in using these tools as they are descriptive in nature, not very analytical. In other words, this should be used as a supporting tool, but not a main one, since it will only help you describe or regurgitate facts, but not analyze the information. SWOT and STEEPLE can still be used, but should not be a main focus. Check out the exemplars on our Diplomaly website to see how and where you might use SWOT or STEEPLE, but avoid the common pitfall of being overly descriptive. Similarly, if you see examples online using force field analysis, this is likely from the old syllabus. Almost every IA in the old syllabus used the FFA, but they are generally inappropriate tools for the new syllabus IAs, and therefore you should avoid using them. You don't need to use a full TTT. A partial application of the TTT is more than sufficient. For example, if you're using the Boston Consulting Group matrix when talking about a product expansion, you only need to go in depth in the parts of the BCG matrix that are relevant to the business. Remember, the quality of the TTT is the most important, and it is better to focus on the part of the TTT that best answers your research question. While there's no such thing as must-use tools or theory, there are certain TTTs that answer your research questions better than others. Remember, again, quality over quantity is a key success factor here. It is better to go in depth in applying a few TTTs rather than including as many TTTs as you can. Don't use TTTs outside the syllabus. Stick to the business management syllabus only. You are not expected to, nor are you given credit for using TTTs from outside the syllabus. Higher level students, you can, but you don't have to, use the higher level only content in the IA, while standard level students are not expected to use higher level content. Higher level students don't use HL content if it doesn't fit your IA. In the next video, we will look at best practices for research and choosing supporting documents. On our website, you can also see more specifics on everything we have discussed in this video series, as well as full-length Level 7 exemplar IAs with examiner annotations to help you understand why these IAs have scored well. For more videos on the Business Management IA, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to let us know if you have any questions about the BMIA in the comment section below, and best of luck with writing your IA.